Hello, welcome to the latest edition of Old World News. It's time to settle a few grudges because those dwarfs are coming back. Let's take a look at the new range and see what Games Workshop have got in store for us this time. Okay, so we got an article on Warhammer Community from the Adepticon preview, and we are seeing a lot of dwarf activity. It's great. We've had the Orcs and Goblins. They are coming this weekend, and now on the horizon, probably in the next 2 months, if they're following a similar release pattern to what they did with the Orcs and Goblins announced in January, releasing them at the end of March, then we'll see the dwarves coming out in just a couple of months' time. And this one is sure to tempt Gaz away from building the Greenskin army, because look at these. Look at these. Oh, the thing is, I absolutely love the dwarf aesthetic that they've got going on here. All of the beards and fine steel and wonderful bronzes. It's great. And so we're going to start with this Dwarfen Mountain Holds battalion. Now, again, they are not doing starter boxes with the rules in the same way that they did with Bretonnia and Khemri. They are following the same pattern they are with the Orcs and Goblins and doing a battalion box, which still looks to be pretty good value. I'll be interested to see what price it is once you get it down to your local game stores. But in the meantime, it's not a bad box, is it? Look at that. What have you got? You got 4 units and 2 gyrocopters or gyrobombers. You can build them as either. That's a total of 66 miniatures, 32 dwarf warriors, 32 dwarf quarrelers, which can also be built as thunderers if you wish, and 2 gyrocopters, which can be built as gyrobombers. That's not a bad core for an army there. So they've got them assembled as hand weapon and shields and great weapons, and then quarrelers and thunderers. But you know, each to your own. I think quarrelers with great weapons is a pretty good frontline infantry to have. You know, big wide lines. Not talking stupid, you know, a line hammer, one line, but two ranks deep, 8 wide, and then they're bound to have a couple of swings back, and they're going to do damage to you before you get there as well. So great units, quarrelers. I'm a big fan of them. And it's always kind of worth giving dwarves, unless you need the shield wall, it's always worth giving dwarves the great weapon, because they're always striking last anyway. They're so slow. So yeah, they're an army that really can take advantage of it. Now, I know if you follow any of the Facebook groups, you'll see lots of win rates on there that people have put up from various tournament data, and I think that perhaps we are seeing a skew. Dwarfs are right at the bottom. I mean, really at the bottom there, and some way below everyone else. But I think a lot of that is going to be down to people trying to play them in a different way. Their artillery isn't necessarily as powerful as it once was, but I think you've got to really build a solid core that can sit there while you can rain death on the ones that can't quite reach you. But we'll see how it goes. Another thing I think, just briefly, about those tournament stats is right at the top, Khemri have got an excellent arcane journal, and higher than I expected, Bretonnia, who also have an arcane journal. So I think we'll see, as you get supplementary materials for these factions, that you're going to see that they get better. And I think we'll see the same with the dwarves. So don't let their win rate put you off, because I think there's a whole lot of potential waiting to be unlocked in the dwarves, and I can't wait to see people do it. But what else do we have? We have the Arcane Journal, which looks lovely with the Lord on back of the shield there. So 48 pages of joy in here. Extra units, reference cards will be available. There'll be lots of rune references, magic item references, stuff for your Anvil of Doom, and obviously the Dwarven Dice that we all saw on a leak a while ago. New miniatures though, this is where it gets very exciting. Look at that. Oh, he is glorious. Absolutely glorious, bigger than before, held by 3 people, so tripod rather than a biped, which is, you know, better, because realistically all you had to do was hit him and you'd expect him to just topple backwards. At least he's got a guy at the back now holding it up. So but the whole miniature looks simply magnificent. That Lord on the shield bearers just looks stunning and absolutely great. It fits the aesthetic. It looks a little modern, but I like that, and it's absolutely packed with detail. So yeah, a real centerpiece. Imagine that in a unit of hammers or longbeards, and it would just, oh, real centerpiece model. I like it a lot. So yeah, 3 people with the Lord on top is great. Now another one we get is the dude on foot, and just look at that is one mighty beard, and I'm amazed it does not get in the way. But you know, he's got a cloak on the back and a beard on the front. How he can even step, I've no idea. Oh, and 2 huge horns. But he looks great. It looks absolutely fantastic. And is that like a dragon scale cloak on the back there, I think. But another fantastic miniature to have right at the forefront of your army. And the joy of these dwarves is that a dwarf lord's bloody hard to kill. I mean, you can make them toughness 10. It's, you know, and give them incredible armor saves. So you have them on foot leading the line like that, they're going to stay and they're going to stick around, and they're going to make sure that the regiment they're with sticks around too. And that makes them a fantastic anvil unit that you can just have in the center of your battlefield, soaking up all of that attention from your opponents. So these are both plastic, which is great. So nice and easy to work with. Everyone knows how to deal with plastic. Dead easy to assemble. And just look at them. Fantastic. But moving on, we've got 2 in resin. And one is a Thane with handgun, who I just like the look of. He's particularly cool. Let's just look at that a bit closer. Standing on an oath stone there, trying to get a bit of height, almost as high as an average human now at this point, but only from the top of his ears, you know, still quite short. But the handgun looks fantastic. It looks like it does some damage, but it also looks like it might just go off in your face at any moment in time. And I think that's because we're at this early stage of black powder in the old world. I like that. I like that they're all cobbled together steampunky devices, and I think it looks really, really cool. So he's coming along in Forge World resin, and so is this familiar face. Look at Ungrim Ironfist, back, younger, fitter, meatier arms, massive beard, huge axe. Just look at him, he's amazing. And it's really, really good to see a familiar face back, and because dwarves are longer lived than humans, we get a special character that we all know and love, and that might not be it. There might be more. We'll have to see what comes in the Arcane Journal as to what other characters are going to be available. But for now, certainly, Ungrim is back, and I love that miniature. I think it's fantastic. It just looks mean. Absolutely fantastic. Right at the front, charging with a horde of slayers behind him. And I imagine this means we're going to get one of the armies of infamy in the book will be a slayer hold army with many slayers, and hopefully extra rules to make slayers better at killing things like dragons, not just, you know, whatever they are at the moment, meat to be eaten by them. It's a real shame, and slayers do need to be stronger, I think. But he looks great. And also a little note from the video chat that they had about the dwarves. There was a hint of some taller familiar special characters returning. So I will put money down that we are going to see a younger Tyrion and Teclis coming along at some point. It'll be interesting to see how they do those, because this is just before Teclis founded the Colleges of Magic, which makes a difference. I don't know whether or not he's going to be lower in power or about the same, but what we are going to see are 2, I think, I'm almost certain we'll see 2 youthful elven princes ready to join up with your pointy-eared armies. But sorry, it's travesty talking about elves on a dwarf article. I'm sorry, dwarf players. I'm sorry, dwarfs. Elves, you'll get your day. It's later. So yeah, excellent resin kits coming along. Plastic kits though, loads of plastic kits. Look at that guy, look at that. He's a rune priest looking fantastic. Rune Smith, sorry, I think. We have also got, let's go, can we go, how does this work? Yeah, it's like that, there we go. So we've got the Dwarven Warriors kits, which are coming in the battalion box, can be made as either hand weapon and shield, or great weapons, and they both look fantastic, really good looking kits. Same again with the ranged weapons, you can have quarrelers, or you can have handgunners, and as I keep saying, quarrelers with great weapons is just one of those all-time great units, I think. I absolutely like them. Moving on, we have got Iron Drakes and what looks like Longbeards at the back, and both of those are mean as. I mean, Iron Drakes are just, you know, forefront of the underground battle line, and Longbeards being Longbeards, they're just tough as old boots. Absolutely glorious models to come back. And again, this whole aesthetic of like steel and bronze and beard, I think it's dwarves are one of the best looking armies in Warhammer by a long shot. There we've got hammerers again. Great units. Hammerers, really good, and just hard hitting. And again, if you dump your lord on his shield in amongst them, you've got a unit that is going to stand up to everything. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. And then back around to the runesmith again, who is just another gorgeous model. More kits coming in Forge World resin. So we have got the Dwarf Command set, which includes a Legendary Slayer, a Thane with a battle standard, and another Lord. This Lord looking a little bit lower status than the Lords we've seen above, but you know, each to their own and how it works. Coming in metal though, we have got the Anvil of Doom. Now this to me is a very new Anvil of Doom, because I only recently sold my old wheeled Anvil of Doom, when you could move around the battlefield striking lightning runes at people and causing untold damage. But it was, you know, it's still a lovely model, that, and I'm glad to see it coming back. So we are seeing the Anvil of Doom, we are seeing the Grudge Thrower, the Bolt Thrower, the Flame Cannon, and a group of Master Engineers to buff them. We are also seeing classic Slayers with the chains. Look at them. We're also seeing the Goblin Hewer, which is not in this article but is in the video, so I don't have a picture of that for you right now. And then we've got a couple of extra interesting things. There's going to be the Imperial Dwarfs and their command, also from the 90s, and Joseph Bugman's cart, because everyone needs a pint of Bugman's at the end of a battle, don't you? I know I did. So yeah, a load of made-to-order stuff from really old dwarfs from the 80s, and there's some beauties in here. I think I may have one or two of these models hidden away somewhere, but we get Prince Ulthar with his Dragon Company coming in two separate sets. One with a prince and his champion, a standard-bearing musician, the other one with 5 dwarves. So you can create a regiment of renown which you can use as mercenaries by either Imperial armies or by Dwarven armies themselves. Further into the future, and not all at once, there will be 5 more sets of Dwarven Legends in the made-to-order. 5 Metal Lords, 3 Metal Runesmiths, 4 Metal Dragon and Demon Slayers, 1 Metal Dwarf Queen, and a Lord, Thane and Standard Bearer in resin. Apparently they can't be shown currently, but they'll be familiar to players of a particular vintage, and I imagine they can't be shown because either they're not finished moulding them or casting them, or they're not yet painted, but they are on the list of things to do. But look at it, what a great range to have back. Yeah, I'm dead excited. It almost makes me want to start a dwarf army, but I say this every new edition of Warhammer, I need to start a dwarf army, and it's just one more thing to start, isn't it? So I don't know, what do you all think? Should I start a dwarf army? Should I carry on with Bretonnians and High Elves? Where are you on this? What's the idea? What's the best option for me right now? Should I pick an army at the bottom of the tier and see if I can bring it up? Should I spend more money? It's a lot of money as well, who knows. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below, and if you are interested in more old world content, there is a lot of old world content and you can see it up here right now. Click that playlist and see everything we have done about the old world so far. And until the next time, do leave a like, a subscribe, share with your friends, hit that notification bell, and until we get a new preview, probably in a week or so at this rate, they are speeding along, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.